Hi folks, fuerve here. I got a number of questions on my Q&A video, and I'm going to go through them here as quickly as I can. But as an added bonus, everybody who asks me a question is going to get, before I mention their questions, a compliment from me, because I am all about compliments. I love compliments. So, let us begin. TattooSkin72. You are great. I really enjoy your videos. I like your demeanor, your manner. I think you're a smart guy, and yeah, you're just one of the all-time good ones. So cheers to you. And he asks, do you play any MMOs? Well, I used to, but not really seriously. I don't really have the attention span for it. I played EVE Online for a while, and I don't know, it just got a little boring after a while. And, I've dabbled in a couple of others. None of them have really held my interest. I guess I'm just not that type. I don't really have the time, and I just don't have the attention span. Yeah. Okay. So Archangel Michael 1. You, sir, are, despite your protests, an interesting fellow, and that is not meant as the opposite of compliment. That is, in fact, a compliment. You vary in your expression from one radical extreme to the next, and occasionally you sit somewhere in the middle. But by and large, you show us a range of human emotion that I think you don't necessarily seem to acknowledge in yourself. So the next time you're looking at yourself in the mirror, I want you to remember that you do in fact express human breadth and depth. Okay, on to the questions. Why the fuerve? Good question. So when I was in high school, I knew this group of guys, and I was just I was a freshman at the alternative school in the Mukilteo School District in Everett, Washington. So this would have been about 1993, and this group of guys, they were nice to me, and I think they were the first people in my entire life who were ever actually nice to me, you know, other than old friends that I have going way, way back. And so they took me into their little club, which they called the Poobahs, and it was a very fun thing. And the first time I had ever really been accepted by a peer group, and so that was an amazing thing to me. And I had been in homeschool for all of middle school, so coming right into high school out of sitting in my bedroom all day, doing homework in my underwear and reading about the occult and such, that pretty much comprised my 12th and 13th year. So I was just a social throwback when I got into high school. So so they gave me a nickname, La Fuerve Poobah, which doesn't actually have any meaning, but I think the guy who gave it to me was probably on acid when he did it. But so I used that nickname as a handle on bulletin boards for years, and when the internet became a massive public phenomenon, pretty much the entire internet was run on Unix machines at the time, and Unix, when you set up a username on a Unix machine, you can only use one string, and there were caps on it, like it had to be fewer than 9 characters or whatever. So I just used the middle portion, which is fuerve, and I have that to this day as my handle pretty much everywhere. I also own the domain fuerve.com. If you do a Google search for fuerve, other than a few odds and ends here and there, the whole thing is pretty much me. So it remains a fairly unique string of characters in all the world, which is an odd thing these days for a 6-character string. So there you have it. What's the channel about besides atheism? So I think that it is a fair assessment to say that the channel is about atheism, even though in my own mind I don't necessarily think of the channel as being about atheism, but I think that's fair to say. So in my mind the channel is kind of about me and whatever I'm going through. Now I tend to, as I've mentioned before, I have ADHD, and I tend to be kind of scattered, so I don't really express the scattery stuff. I've learned over the years to kind of cope and deal with it by not expressing the scatterbrained stuff as much as possible. But I do kind of have long, slow, intellectual and emotional arcs, and I kind of track myself through those. They are kind of what couples me to time and to the rest of the world, if that makes sense. And so atheism is one of those arcs, and rationalism, and materialism and all that. And I'm sure there will be other things, but I guess it just doesn't really matter to me all that much. I don't really care to represent a breadth of things that are not necessarily me. Although it will happen sometimes, I'll find my way to expressing something that's interesting or unique or novel or something. But yeah, by and large, I guess I'm a pretty quiet dude about most things. And when I feel strongly enough to speak about something, it means I feel very, very strongly about it indeed. So take that for what it's worth. Okay, Kellyco70. I really like you, Kellyco. I think you've been with my channel since almost the beginning. You've always been very interactive and just very cool to talk to. We've had some good conversations over PM, and I just get a really good vibe off of you, so keep that up. I also see you being very interactive on other channels as well. You're definitely an asset to the YouTube community in general, so yeah, right on. And you asked me, not a dearth of questions. All right, here goes. What is your favorite book? The Foundation Trilogy by Isaac Asimov in one bound volume was the first science fiction book I ever read. It may have been the first adult book I ever read when I was 11 years old or 10 years old or some years old, and it kind of opened the door to a whole new world of fascination with the mechanism of the universe. And as Isaac Asimov tends to do, he died in the middle 90s, but I think he had about 400 books, both science fact and science fiction, to his credit. So he was no slouch, and kind of a little bit of a personal hero of mine, I guess. And so that would be my favorite book. Favorite movie? What is your favorite movie? So I don't watch a lot of movies these days. I think if I had to name a favorite movie, like a movie that I would pick to watch pretty much whenever, anytime, any place, it would probably be, at the moment I might say Human Traffic, for instance. That I love that movie. It really represents me very well, like in my middle or early 20s. But I don't know if I have any solid favorites, although somebody asked a question later on that kind of hits to the heart of the matter a little bit more, so I'll elucidate more on that then. Where would you like to visit in the world? Scotland. Do you have any pets? Not at the moment, no. What was the best day of your life? Shit. What the fuck was the best day of my life? Probably when I got married. Or maybe the day after I got married. No. Well, it's in there somewhere. What's your favorite video game? Favorite video game? Shit. I don't know. I don't know what my favorite video game is. I might come back to that one. If I think of it later, I'll mention it. Do you smoke? Yes, I smoke cigarettes. The full question is, do you smoke, legal or otherwise, and you don't have to tell which if you do. I don't smoke weed anymore. I did for a long time. I kind of stopped smoking weed in my middle 20s, not because I have any moral qualms about it or anything like that, but because it was just sketching me out. My body just started handling it in a way that was not the way that you would want. And, I was having anxiety issues and other sorts of things besides, and so I just had to put it down. It was just fucking me up, which is a silly thing to say, I know, for a lot of you out there who are still able to smoke it up. I wish I could be there with you. I love marijuana, dude. I love how it looks. I love how it tastes. I love how it smells. Unfortunately, I just can't do it. So, alas. What is your favorite time of the year? Spring. What is your zodiac sign? I am a Gemini, Cancer cusp, Libra rising, Taurus, Moon, and Mars, and Venus in Gemini. So make of that what you will. I know all that because it was important to me to know that when I was 21 or 22. It is no longer important for me to know that. But all the same, it's something that's lodged forever in here, like the minute of my birth. Is it really all that important? No, but I do, in fact, always remember that I was born 2:07 p.m., Thursday, June 21st, 1979. Go figure. So, next question. You will get even with me for 10 questions someday, won't you? Yes. Yes, I absolutely will.